Today we are going to learn to multiply fractions, to simplify before multiplying fractions. Yesterday we did fractions to whole numbers. Now that today we're doing fractions to fractions. Now remember, when we multiply fractions, we multiply the numerators and we multiply the denominators. If you look down here at the numbers, we have 2/5 times 1/2, and then it's 2 times 1 over 5 times 2. If we look at it as symbols using alphabet letters, we have AB times CD equals A times C and B times D. Okay, our first example is find 1/3 times 1/4, write in simplest form. So if we use the area model, we divide the rectangle into 4 rows, then divide the rectangle into 3 columns. We shade 1/4 unit wide by 1/3 unit long. The section that is shaded represents 1/4 times 1/3, or 1/2, because we have 12 total squares. So that means that we have shaded one of those 12, hence the 1/12. Now let's just do it with using the numbers. Method number 2 is using an equation. So 1/3 times 1/4 equals 1 times 1 and 3 times 4, or 1/12. It says to simplify. Do we need to simplify? No, because 1/12 is simplified. We can go through those 3 rules. Can 1 divide into 12? Well, yeah, but it's not going to change the answer. Is there a number that can divide into both of them? Do I have a prime number in either the numerator or the denominator? And in this case, 1 is our prime number. So 1/3 times 1/4 equals 1/12. Okay, this one's the first one for your journal. Find 1/5 times 1/6, write in simplest form. So you may want to stop the video. You may want to write this down so you don't have to go back and look for it. All right, moving on. Next one, find 3/4 times 5/6. So if we estimate this, 1/2 times 1, that equals a half. So our answer should somewhere be around a half. 3/4 times 5/6, can be put into this. Now, we talked about this, about cross simplifying. This is called cross simplifying because we're simplifying numbers that are kitty corner to each other. Because 3 can go into 6, before we even do the multiplication, we can simplify it. We can take 1, because 3 goes into 3 one time, and 3 goes into 6 2 times. So now we have 1 times 5 and 4 times 2, which equals 5/8. And then it says to simplify. It's already simplified, so we don't need to. Now check for reasonableness. Is 1/2 about equal to 5/8? Yes, it is. Cross simplifying is a tool that will help you, and we'll talk a little bit more about it in class, but it is something to try and do. It may seem confusing at first, but the more you practice it, just like anything, the better off you'll be. All right, so here's your second question for your math journal. 3/7 times 2/9. Try doing cross simplification with this before you multiply. 3/7 times 2/9. Go ahead and write that one down, and moving on. Okay, find 4/9 times 18. Now this one looks a lot like what we did yesterday with the fraction and the whole number. So we can estimate it out. When we multiply it out, we have 4/9 times 18 becomes 4/9 times 18 over 1. Again, I can cross simplify because 9 can go into 9 one time, and 9 can go into 18 2 times. So now I end up with 4 over 1 multiplied by 2 over 1. When I equal that out, 4 times 2 is 8 over 1. We can ignore the over 1 and just make 8 our answer. So here they're going to show you, same thing I just did, and then 8 over 1, or 8. So we decided 9 was our estimate, and 9 is close to 8, so we've got it right. Okay, next one. to write in your journal is 12 times 5, 6. 12 times 5, 6 is your third one. Write it down in your journal. If you want to do it right now, stop the video. If you want to wait to the end, that's up to you. Okay, last one. Frank had 1/2 of the lawn left to mow. On Saturday, he mowed 2/3 of what was left. What fraction of the entire lawn did Frank mow on Saturday? So 1/2 times 2/3 equals 1 times 2 and 2 times 3. Again, we can cross simplify and change our 2's to 1 because 2 will go into 2 one time, 2 goes into 2 one time, so those both become 1. So now when we multiply it out, we get 1 times 1, which is 1, and 1 times 3, which is 3. This is already simplified out. We can check for, so Frank mowed 1/3 of the lawn on Saturday. Here's our last one for the journal. This is number 4. Katie used 1/2 of her beads to make a necklace. She used 2/5 of the remaining beads to make a bracelet. What fraction of the total beads did she use to make a bracelet? Go ahead and write that one down. Remember, you need the 4 problems. You need a sentence. And last but not least, you need the lesson number, which is 4.3. Good luck, and we'll see you tomorrow.